The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Okay, so context. I have to send a link to people to record these shows because we use StreamYard. And normally, so that everybody isn't just waiting around by their email, I'll normally shoot everybody a text or DM, depending if it's somebody who's phone number I don't have, if it's a guest or anything. And then normally it's just something to the effect of the link is send. Siri was not listening to me properly, and Travis thinks he's funny.
I think, therefore I am.
Okay, Billy. We have a little bit of catch up to do match wise. Some good matches, some great matches, some great trivia. And we also have a title match. So we have a lot to get to. Obviously, the title match is going to kind of take precedence. That and the big number one contender that happened recently. The fan is on really hard. Is it audible?
Only a little bit.
Okay, cool. That said, as we promised last week, first things first, JTE versus Chance Ellison. I'm going to be honest, whenever you were saying that it was going to be an emotional roller coaster for me, I'm getting up to turn one of the microphones that the fan is blowing directly at off. So I'm taking my headphones off and I'm moving, and that is why. But I was going in there very nervous. I was afraid that my boy wasn't going to come out with a W.
He can't hear me now.
Really, really scared. And
he doesn't know what terrible things I'm about to
I
say.
think you were trying to gaslight me into thinking that Chance was going to lose. And
I might have been.
that was clever, but also you're a dick. Remind me, did JTE spin opponent's choice? Did somebody spin opponent's choice in that match?
No. It's been a minute.
I don't think they did. Well, here's the reason why I ask. I have a new clip in our video deck for people who habitually spin opponent's choice. Would you like to see it, Travis?
Yes, please.
You f***ing wheel! F*** you, God!
Yep. That's good.
Bringing it full circle. We're bringing it full circle. We love some more news in the worst year ever beyond the Bastards crowd. Loyal listener Rob Filkins, Rob, is a big fan. And Lonathan and Jonathan Harris both work for some more news. So it's come full circle. The circle is now complete. You don't have to look. I just wanted an excuse to play the new clip.
I don't think they did. And if either of them did, JTE did. I just don't remember. But yeah, I knew the outcome. I did listen to this match, but again, that was like 2 weeks ago, so I don't actually remember. I just know Chance played very well. I know JTE played well enough, but
I mean, he got a TKO hung on him, so
yeah.
Hey, you can only have that brag about hanging TKOs until it comes back to bite you in the ass. And like Shannon said, they are the first people to hang a TKO on the exchange all season because they've been on fire. There's no fighting that. Gucci's rookies, the Finstock 4, as it were, got their first L. Chance played incredibly. We are now moving into the territory where there could be a corruption v corruption match for the singles belt. This excites me very much. Obviously, I think corruption really needs those points. We're going to get to it. Having a title match this week between the Den and the Quirky Mercs was not a good look for corruption in either direction. You either had somebody who was just below corruption in terms of points getting a big win, or you had the Quirky Mercs further inflating their lead. So as a corruption fan, and if I were, Shannon Barney, I'm praying for the Den because they get a little less. But moving into, we got tournament season going. James White picked up a W this week, which we'll talk about. I want to talk about that challenge. But James White picked up a W. We have what could be a corruption v corruption singles title match, that is. Star Wars tournament starting up, and Joseph Scrimshaw is gonna at least put up a couple points for corruption. I don't see him getting
I don't know about that.
I don't see him getting bounced in round 1.
You know who he's playing in round 1? He's playing Gold Leader.
I think he can take Gold Leader.
I mean, he could. I'm not saying.
What I think is funny is that you were like, "Do you know who he's playing?" And I'm like, "Effing Bushgar, right? Why do I know that name? Oh, that's Gold Leader's real name. Okay, yeah. I completely forgot. I forgot Gold Leader and remembered his real name. But no,
I think that is much closer to a 50-50 shot.
I think it's close to a 50-50 shot. I mean, I'm not saying that it is like a curb stomp for Scrimshaw. But I like Joseph Scrimshaw's odds.
I don't.
A lot.
I don't like either of their odds. I think, like I said, when it comes to players like that, it's a straight 50-50,
Yeah.
The title match was a straight 50-50 for me. So.
Hey, Star Wars,
it was a 51-49. Yeah.
Which is good. But Travis, any further thoughts on JTEV the Cobra?
I think Chance has been waiting for this moment. He's gonna. I know how much you want it to be corruption v corruption, but I want him to have to play, and not get anything against Marisol. I feel like it wouldn't feel as good. B, I think there's beating Ethan Irwin with the belt, right? Has to feel something similar to beating Dan Murrell, right? Like you're beating one of the best champions to ever champion.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting, and I think it's one of the features of the current format that's interesting because, there are instances where you kind of have to make a decision. Okay, do I want to prioritize my own individual glory as a player, or am I going into this shooting for the throat of points?
The example that we have coming up soon, Amaru Moses, right?
Yeah.
Going in. If Chandru had won 2 weeks ago, I would be disappointed if I was Amaru, because now I'm not playing the certified goat of IG Mike Kalinowski for the belt. I know. It's only because Kevin had to retire.
Don't use the R word. He'll be back.
Temporarily.
I know.
But now I'm playing Chandru, and while that's not to knock Chandru, but as the rookie playing for a belt in his rookie season, I want to play Mike Kalinowski. You know? I think there's something similar. Like Chance is going, and this is my first. Yeah, and this is the other one.
Just because it's on my mind from us replaying it at camp, and your new acquisition. Tune into Campus Life next week.
It's too far away. I would have grabbed it otherwise.
It's very much like that scene where you first meet Ron Coda in The Force Unleashed. Months of attacking Imperial targets, and Vader sent a boy to fight me.
Mm-hmm.
Not that any of these competitors are the proverbial boy, and let the context also show that Ron Coda gets his dick kicked in that fight. But the point still stands of that, like, I want the big dog. And I get that. I wouldn't blame Amaru if he was like a little salty to get Kalinowski. And I wouldn't blame Chance if part of him wants to play Ethan Irwin instead. But he's also such a good team player that I think he is probably pulling for Marisol a little bit more.
Probably. Oh yeah. Like, I'm not saying that he's completely against it or he'll be very upset. I mean, like, the individual player that would be in me would think that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Speaking of TKOs on members of the Finstock Exchange, right? This is TKO.
I don't know if it was a TKO. I think it like got out of TKO range.
Oh no! There was a different match I'm thinking of.
Bungled it. Okay.
I was thinking of Saul Moose.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but the next match is some more news writer. Lon Harris. Is that what we're on? Oh god, we got to get through the last week's shit too. Do we? Hold on.
That is last week's shit.
It is last week's stuff. Yes. Okay. All my wires are crossed. I apologize. Lon Harris versus King Khan. This is a good match. I was scared for Lon. Again, these are one of those situations where, like, we're at that point in the season where, like, I am rooting for people below corruption or near corruption who aren't the Quirky Mercs, the Finstock Exchange, and the Dungeon. Like, if you're none of those factions, I'm pulling for you. Just to keep points away from them and make corruption's job easier. That and the fact that I like Lon Harris a lot. I think he's funny. He's somebody that I would love to have on any of these podcasts just to, like, ask him about some of his opinions, because I don't agree with a lot of them. But he is very, very smart, and I would like to hear him articulate them beyond the Twitter character limit. So, Lon,
he always makes the best version of a joke I think of on Twitter. Like, anytime I think of, like, a joke about, like, a pop culture thing, like, it formulates and the punchline's almost there, and then I open Twitter, and Lon Harris has made his first tweet in a week, and it's the perfected version of the joke I was thinking of. And there's that mix, like, son of a bitch.
But it works because you know, he does write on one of our favorite YouTube shows, and it shows. He just has the tone down so well.
Mm-hmm.
It's remarkable. But I got nervous for him. You know, like, this is one of Gucci's rookies. You know, this is part of the Finstock 4. This is the first of the Finstock 4 to fall in the singles tournament. And I'm going to be honest, I thought it was going to take a little longer. I'm impressed. Lon is not bullshitting this season. And I'm, you know, I want to say, you know, singles run, but obviously I want it to be cut short by anybody in corruption. You know, that's not a secret. Everybody knows where my loyalties lie on that one. But I want to see Lon go as long as he can before he hits a corruption person. because I'm excited for him and his play right now. Yeah, that was a really impressive match, Travis.
Yeah, good job not getting rattled.
Yep.
With early misses. Lon had I think he takes the game so not seriously in a good way. You know, like he is just there to have fun, but also knows that his knowledge can carry him through basically anything.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, yeah, I don't remember how many he missed. Like it wasn't like a rough round one. I just know he missed. Oh no, he missed 2, and then Khan missed 2. That's what it was. So it was very much, he did the thing where like, yeah, I missed. My opponent might miss at some point, and they'll help me catch up. And then it happened right away. It rattled Khan. It didn't rattle Harris. And we saw the result. So
we certainly did. It was a good one. Our next match, unless you have any further thoughts.
Nope.
No. I'm just trying to keep moving because we got a lot, and I want to talk about this Star Wars match. I apologize. Dangerous Dan Murrell versus friend of the show Jessica Schloth. I talked to Trey, and Trey told me Jessica saw what I said to him. Trey Mitchell, host of Skywalking Through the League, is Jessica Schloth's boyfriend. They interact on the social medias, but when I just offhandedly say Trey, she put up a hell of a fight, and for somebody in their rookie season, getting thrown into the pit with Dan Futhermucking Murrell. Like, I don't give a shit who you are or where you come from or what your movie trivia knowledge is. If you're even remotely familiar with this game and your third match is playing Dan Murrell in a singles tournament and you even show up and your and your britches aren't brown by the end, good for you.
Yeah.
She went in cocky. She went in confident. She was like, I know my ability. I know how I can play. I'm going to fight like hell. I'm going to fight to the end. Like, I don't even think I could have done that with a smile on my face. I don't think I if I was like, hey, you're playing against Dan Murrell, I think I would have done what Andrew Guy did last season. Whereas that, like, I'm just going to go out as a goddamn meme. Right? That's the only thing I could have ever that's the only thing I could have done. Honestly, I don't think I could have handled myself with like the grace that Jess did. Like going in there and actually kind of like going for it and, not going ape shit trying to go like all the way in. I'm like, I'm going to take out Dan Murrell. But she also didn't resign herself to oblivion. And I just, nothing but respect there. And the YouTube comment section was so sweet and so positive because I was like, I'm going to look because part of me's scared too. Part of me is afraid someone's going to be very mean to this young woman in this sport dominated by guys in their 30s and 40s. And
to Schmodown's credit, not a lot of negativity when it comes to individual. Well, not that I've seen anyway. Like,
yeah,
Facebook group, YouTube comments, everyone's super like, fuck yeah, movie trivia, cool. Unless you're Ben Bateman, everyone's like,
but yeah, I was very happy to see how positive everybody was, and it was a good match. Travis, I kick to you, sir.
It was exactly how I thought it would go, and I don't mean that as an insult. You look at the match, and you're like, so it's going to go like this?
If you're a betting man, there's a rookie next to the GOAT.
Yeah. And even then, Jarod, wake up. Even then, Dan was having an off day. he spun opponent's choice. Like, there was a chance here for something for him to go very wrong. It didn't.
You f***ing wheel! F*** you, God!
That was Dan Murrell. Now, to be fair, I knew 2 of his rom-com questions.
Good job.
Which was weird. But yeah,
Master of the romantic comedy genre, Travis Grossman.
It is the only genre of movie I've ever watched.
That's funny. Famous rom-com, The Man Who Killed Hitler and the Bigfoot.
Is a romance between me and a lot of drugs.
That sounded very Robert Evans of you. But yeah, no. I look forward. I really hope Jess is around next season. From what I understand, she has no plans of hanging it up anytime soon. Obviously, the roster for just who all is playing next year is going to be significantly smaller. And Christian Harloff also announced we're going back to 2 matches a week next season, which makes the show a little bit more manageable for us on one hand, but I am going to miss the sheer amount of content. But I understand, and they need to do what works for them. They kind of did the same thing we did, where it was like, okay, the pandemic started. We're doing this online format. This gives us the opportunity to increase our output. So let's go for it. And I get it. I get scaling back now that, like, also because going back to their old format lends itself better to their new business opportunities. Like shit, like being sponsored by Captain Morgan for a live event, which is still funny. And I don't know why, but it's hysterical.
And scaling back means that you don't have to fly people out. If Jacob London needed to play in a match on a random Thursday, you don't have to fly him from Australia every other week, Yeah.
And I also think it's good that the FCL is getting some love. Obviously, you and I have not been able to keep up with the FCL, and I don't know if you saw this or not. There's a big FCL match coming up, and John Roque is playing in it.
Yeah, well, it's an exhibition. He's playing in a wrestling exhibition, I guess.
Okay,
I saw it. Yeah, I saw the announcement.
But that's still good. I'm glad that they're that there are mainline MTS players.
I think I heard Christian say a lot of people from current Schmodown will be funneled. I almost said shoved, but funneled into the FTL or FCL as because it's made to be digital. So these people who aren't living in Los Angeles don't have to worry about getting there for their matches. They can play digitally, and then maybe they work their way up to something in the Movie Trivia Schmodown where they flying them out works and making the FCL more of a premier part of the Schmodown. Because right now it's looked at like the minor leagues. If you can restructure it a bit where it's not the minor leagues and it's like the digital league where you can also earn your shot, right? Yeah. Because I always go back to Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering did something very similar for a long time and still kind of does, but it's, COVID, where they had Magic the Gathering Online, the Magic the Gathering Online Open, where you could win a shot to the World Championship by playing the online client.
Yeah.
And now they have slots open if you do well enough on Arena. And they've done a similar thing where to get to their premier, the best of the best tournament, you can earn your way not having to drive all over the goddamn country.
Yeah.
And if they could work that in. Like maybe you win so much in the FCL that earns you a number one contender shot in a Schmodown, and now you don't have to worry about now I have to fly out. I keep going back to Jacob London because it's easy because he lives in but like, or whoever, I don't have to fly them out 8 times for them to earn their title shot and then for their title shot. But we shall see.
We shall see indeed. Robert Parker versus Ethan Irwin.
The meme is dead, and now I can root for Shazam again, and I'm happy. Not that I wasn't going to, but like there would have been a part of me that was like, I just need him to win. I need him to win for the meme. Also, Robert Parker won, so like,
yeah, you got a dungeon victory, so yeah, this one went just about as expected. Mm-hmm. Robert Parker played super strong. I mean, they both did, but like,
yeah, and it shows that he didn't take this match for granted. Like he won, and he did like the
which is good
thing that you do.
And I mean, like, I don't care what division it is. You beat Ethan Big Time Irwin, like.
Mm-hmm.
But if you beat Dan Murrell in Star Wars, you still beat Dan Murrell.
I think too, Ethan handled like being an IG the correct way, and Sam did as well. Of like, you're already lined up for 85 title matches this month. Like, this is gravy. Like, you just get to play, maybe he earned 3 points for the usual suspects. And it didn't really take much effort on his part because he knew most of this movies, except, of course, for Wizarding World. But I haven't seen Crimes of Grindelwald either. It's fine.
You'll never lose points with Travis for not watching Crimes of Grindelwald. Never. Salvi Haas. Moose Haas.
Hold on.
All right. Well, the work's cut out for us right now. I mean, our ass is in the jet pot. Terry Collins. Look, don't forget, we still give off a musk that brings the coyotes down from the hill. Always.
He'll never say anything funnier than that ever again.
Okay, I want to make a pact with you right now. I'm like going to digitally look into your eyes as best as I can. From now on, we do everything in our power to work saying that into conversations.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say at work in a few hours. I'm gonna walk in. I have a musk that brings the coyotes down from the hill. What?
It's I remember I messaged you. I'm like, I'm making my way through the matches, and you were like, oh my god, just wait till Saul versus Haas. Like, it's my favorite Gucciism yet. And I was like, oh Jesus. And at first I couldn't understand what he's saying, that our ass is in the what pot. I'm like trying to understand what he's saying. And because online format, like that one part of the word gets gorbled, and I can't tell what he's saying. And at first I'm like, our ass is in the... Like, I literally typed it out and sent it to you as he said it. And then as I hit send, we got that musk that brings the coyotes down from the hills. And I was like, oh, that's definitely what Travis was talking about. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Apparently they weren't friendly coyotes though, so
no, they weren't. It was not a bunch of Adam Collinses. Other than that, Saul is Saul's about to have another number one contender shot.
Yeah.
Like it took him like a month and a half.
He has a number one contender shot. Well,
that's tournament finals. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he plays. Robert Parker versus Saul. That's a hell of a match. It's like pretty much what everybody had on their bracket. I'll just ask you now, who you got in the end for this, Saul or Parker?
I'm going to say Parker. I don't think Saul's strategy works on Parker because Parker doesn't get intimidated by the opponent. He gets intimidated by himself, right? And he's been doing such a better job of knowing he's going to, like, especially in this current IG format, you're going to miss one or two. It's going to happen. It's fine. You just got to roll with it and not worry about it. I think this will be his first speed round, though.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Are they doing a 5-rounder for the tournament finals?
I think so.
Okay.
Because it's a number one contender shot. Because they didn't do that for the teams tournament earlier in the season because it resulted in a number one contender shot, not a title shot.
Okay.
This results in a title shot. So they're playing the 5-rounder. I think. It's both their first 5-rounders. I give... Saul has a tendency to play too fast, and that's where he gets his wrong answers.
Yep.
So I'm going to say between the two, like, not being prepared for the speed round, I'm still going to give it to Parker. And then Saul, like, everyone keeps talking about it like it's this terrible thing, but Saul is still unexperienced in the final round. Like, I have a feeling he hasn't been preparing 5-pointers because he hasn't had to answer them. And so I'm just not sure.
This is a match where he is going to need to hit a 5. Like, end of discussion.
At the very least, he's going to have to answer a 3. And the 3-pointers this year are 5-pointers from 2 years ago. Like,
that's a good way of pointing it. You're not wrong.
Like, you spin Transformers as your 3. You're boned. Like, you don't know the answer.
It's going to be wild, man. I'm excited. Moving on. Eric Zipper versus Janine the Machine. First of all, congratulations to Janine on your first round 1 tournament victory. The Machine is the queen of getting screwed by the wheel and getting just a bad run of luck. Eric Zipper, unfortunately, this time around with the wheel.
You f***ing wheel! You, God!
I love it so much. I was watching their Afghanistan episode, and I was like, wow, this is a really specific joke about hating a wheel. And this wasn't written by Lon Harris. Unfortunately, I'm going to use this. And some more news. Please don't hit us with a copyright claim. Lon would be upset that you came after a Schmodown podcast. But this was a good one. This was a really good one. Janine's doing work this season. I think she has a real chance at making it to the end of the singles tournament. Like, this is the most on she's been this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having a lot of fun watching this one. Or this one I did listen to. I did go the Travis route. But, thoughts on this match?
Don't know how I feel about the challenge.
What was the challenge in this one?
Raya and the Last Dragon versus Raya the Last Dragon.
Oh, yeah. The rule book is funny because it basically says if you have a 2-word title, and you skip a the or you skip some type of preposition, that's where you get into trouble. I think like it's kind of like the here's an example. You get basically the same title.
Well, you have to display clear knowledge of that you knew the movie, right? Like if you put Phantom Menace and the answer was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, they're going to know you knew what movie the answer was, right? So on that hand, I agree that Raya the Last Dragon, there's no other movie called that. She wasn't thinking of another movie. She knew it was the Disney movie that came out in the springtime.
You dropped the and basically turned it into Raya
the Last
Dragon. And that's what I was about to say. It's like it's almost like taking like an Indiana Jones movie, instead of it being like Indiana Jones and the blank, you drop the and you just do a colon and it's Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, not and the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so on one hand, I agree. She displayed clear knowledge of the movie. She knew what she was talking about. Compared to the challenge we get in the match after, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know, because the rule only counts for 2-word titles. And this, to me, displayed clear knowledge of what the movie was. I don't think I'm not saying that it was a necessarily wrong call. I think it was right of Shannon to challenge.
Yeah.
I think that was correct as a manager.
I also just want to say, and I mean no disrespect to Roxy Stryer, I think she's like again, wonderful manager, wonderful person. You know, she's cool. I'm sorry, trying to imply that Shannon was cheating by Googling that as a manager was kind of like at what point is it wrong for the manager to Google something to make sure a challenge is valid? And by the same token, you're managing one of the premier Star Wars players. You've probably had to Google some shit yourself. You know, no disrespect. Because again, Roxy has a life. So she doesn't know who the hell Figrin Dan is. Right. But I don't like the, oh, you had to Google it, therefore this is an invalid challenge. Because there's you can probably, it was one of those I have a feeling a movie called The Beauty Shop exists. You know, and that was I feel like that was the line of thought that Shannon was on. Was it there's not a the in that title, but I feel like one exists. And I beyond the whole 1 or 2 word titles, if you add or drop a the, that's one thing. And even though she clearly was not referring to this old ass Hitchcock movie, there, you still said the name of a different movie. And that's where I fall on it, where there's a different movie that you just named, technically. If you type in The Beauty Shop movie, you're gonna get this Hitchcock flick. You know, and that's where I agree with the ruling, and it's one of those stickler things. Again, I think there is a little bit of inconsistency here and there with how liberally the benefit of the doubt rule is used.
That's what I'm saying, is that either both of them, in my opinion, both of them should have gotten it, or both of them should have not gotten it. That displaying clear displaying clear knowledge of the movie should be enough. And she Brittany made a joke about whether or not there was a the. She was like, I thought there was a the because it's the beauty shop or whatever. But clearly showing I know what this movie is. Kind of Idris Elba
Yeah.
thing of I know I spelt his name wrong, but I'm clearly referring to famous actor Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Right?
Even though I said Idris Elba, I'm still talking about the Bloodsport,
Sexiest Man Alive 2019,
yeah, very,
2020,
very handsome rich black guy. I know who I'm talking about,
Yeah. I think it falls somewhere in that
Not
range.
Not a bad rapper either.
I don't think it mattered for Janine. I think she still would have won this match anyway. So yeah, happy for Janine. I don't know who she's playing next. I don't remember. I haven't looked at the bracket in a hot minute.
Yeah.
The only round 2 match that I know of for sure is Griffey Nooms, Josh Horowitz, because it keeps getting advertised to me over and over. But
valid.
To kind of transition in, besides that challenge, I think James White played exceptionally. I think Brittany Young, with what she was given, played exceptionally. She got a really hard round 2.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to do it again. Yeah. Now we know he has power. This isn't good.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
That you're just going to cut me off at one point.
I don't go mad with power. That is not true.
I'm going to start bad-mouthing.
You f***ing wheel! F*** you, God!
Yeah, that's what I thought.
As you were saying, I'm sorry.
I think Brittany's shaping up to be a fantastic player. I think James is shaping up to also be a great player. He got a perfect round 1, except for his bonus question. They said who he was playing next. I don't remember.
I did not catch it either.
He's playing David Del Rio.
That's right. Here's what I was going to say. This was the match. I was listening to this match, and not only was I listening to this match, I was listening to this match with the 20 minutes I had left before I had to go to work. So I was like, I'm going to squeeze a couple rounds of Fortnite in, and then I got my first win. I shot this person in the face with the shotgun as he won the match. And that was weirdly satisfying. That it was boom, and then as it went into slow mo, and your winner. It was okay, this is never gonna happen again. Me winning, that is. Also, I bought the Blade pack because I wanted a sword for a pickaxe. And I was like, man, I want this. And I looked in the store, and it was they still had all the they still had their big Marvel rollout going again because Shang-Chi. Which please go see Shang-Chi. I was up in there. I was like, ooh, I might get a Captain America skin. And then I saw the Daywalker pack with Blade. I couldn't resist. But yeah, you ready to talk about this title match?
I suppose.
First things first, I got really nervous for Thomas Harper in round 1. Nervous and also felt bad because I could feel in my bones just the way he was writing that he misunderstood that question about the why way. The comeuppance question.
Mm-hmm.
That because Dimalanta's up, and he's going still. I'm like, that man is writing down a model alphanumeric serial number for this goddamn ship. And I'm sorry. But he won, so It's okay.
He technically got more incorrect questions than Dimalanta. If that shows you the power of a steal in round 2.
Yeah. If you ever question how much that 2 points in round 2 you can steal from somebody is exactly what you just said. Let this set the record straight on that one. I'm let you talk.
Okay. I think every Star Wars title match we've gotten this year has been spectacular. The swing back and forth had me going. I did get spoiled for this one because I opened the video and there's always like on your phone, there's one comment showing.
It never didn't show me a single comment, and you watched it before I did.
Every time I open YouTube for a match like this after it's done, the comment showing is always, wow, the winner's name really earned it this time, or some equivalent of that. And I'm like, the one time I'm not on Twitter, the one time I don't see it in the Facebook group, the one time I have not been spoiled for a title match, YouTube's got to make it happen. But knowing that, I was like, well, is it going to be a Dimalanta falls apart in the match, or is this a close run? It was a close run. Dimalanta proved that like it ain't easy being maybe the best in the league, right?
Yeah.
Because I still very much disagree. I think it was Christian talking about like Dimalanta would have had to make it the spectacular and defend to like even come close to being number 2 or whatever. No. You don't play this many title matches in 1 year and not automatically shoot up to second best at least.
Yeah.
To me.
I don't think there's a viable argument that can be made that says that Andrew Dimalanta isn't at least the second best player.
Like he won, defended twice, and lost by a single point. There's no denying it to me. Like this also was weird for me because Thomas Harper, I feel like, is still coasting on just knowledge. It's so strange. And I say that only because of the speed round.
Yeah.
Right? Because the whiteboard. And I saw him. I realized I've never watched him play. I've only ever listened. I didn't know he tracked all of his own stuff on his whiteboard, which is a good idea because they can't see it, and seeing it helps you remember. Like having the JTEs there helps you remember to use them if you need them. But I think that for him, it's such a detriment in round 2. And I think if Dimalanta got that last question, we would have been in a much different match. If he gets that 10th point in the speed round and we're tied going into round 5,
yeah,
we have another Damon Dimalanta 1 on our hands. Where they could just go forever. Possibly higher than... There we go. Higher than this.
Yeah.
So...
I also, you want to talk about brutal questions. That round 1, again, where it's just a round 1 made up of 5s, practically. Mm-hmm. Like that, Anakin Skywalker's first line of dialogue in Attack of the Clones. Holy shit. Like, that's good. Like, that's just a cool question. Dimalanta's bonus question, too.
Yeah, insane.
I think I know what you're about to say, but say it. You're
doing first and last words of crawls is not uncommon. Like it's a question they get. Putting it in the speed round? Hello?
Oh yeah. Last word of the crawl in Phantom Menace. Well, I was gonna say, like, they've done like what's the first line of dialogue in this movie? Anakin doesn't speak until like at least 10 minutes in.
It's like 10 or 15, yeah, because we have the whole scene of
you gotta get through the crawl, through the assassination attempt on Padme, through Palpatine's meeting with the Jedi Council, and then you see Obi-Wan and Anakin in the turbo lift up to Padme's apartment. Like they are the fourth, if you count the opening crawl. That's the fourth scene in the movie. And Anakin speaks second in that scene. Like that is literally like the first line of dialogue from Anakin Skywalker is the if you were to sequence all of the everything we just said, it is the last thing to happen. That is it was such an impressive question to ask. And again, like these misses that I'm like, oh man, you're off by a word. Like you just added the master on there, which I can't blame him for.
Well, they almost gave it to him.
They almost gave it to him. Which was funny.
I bet if they had both said it confidently, like if they both had master, they would have been, oh, PJ missed a word in the line, or like didn't put the full line or something. These guys know what they're talking about. We just move on.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just gonna pull it up real quick, just as I want to skim through some of the round one questions because they were great. These were obscene, and I loved them.
I also love the breakdown of not breakdown of communication, but the we're gonna quit pretending like we're talking in code. You're gonna bet 3 points. That happened.
Oh, it was so funny.
And it's happened before, but just watching Coy go, look, we know, you know, they know, we know, he, she, we, they know. So you're betting 3. It just What do you got for me? I bet I know the answer.
Question number 3 in the category of A New Hope. I will say up top, Andrew Dimalanta, nothing but love and respect. Please stop pronouncing the species that way. What species of alien is Ponda Baba, the person whose arm is cut off by Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Mos Eisley Cantina? He is an Aqualish, and that is why Thomas Harper won, because you said Aqualish. Miss me with that shit.
Vin Diesel.
I'm kidding, of course. Mr. Dimalanta, if you watch. It's an incredible match. And we're, again, Thomas Harper said it himself in his post game, we're going into a murderer's row for this singles tournament, or for the Star Wars tournament. We got Alex v. Molly up top, which is disappointing that it's happening that soon. I really wish they went Alex v. Ross and then Molly v. Nikki, just so we could get Molly and Alex at the end, maybe. But hey, it's cool. We're gonna see Nikki Dimalanta play as well. I can't see around our logo
Laura
to
Kelly.
read the name, huh?
It's Laura Kelly.
Oh, it is Laura Kelly. Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure. I saw the swag thing, but I didn't want to assume. That v. Eric Whiteley, and then Joe Scrimshaw versus Gold Leader, and we'll see how that one pans out. So, Star Wars is heating up, man. It's been white hot this season. It cooled down for a little bit. Took a little bit of a Star Wars sabbatical. We're back at it. Back at it like a crack addict, as the great American poet 2 Chainz once said. This is such a good match. And I was so excited. To take a peek at the standings real quick.
So I haven't paid attention to this at all in like 3 weeks.
I haven't looked in a couple weeks myself. So, not sure. No, we're not going to cast it. We're going to screen share. Not sure if this has been updated to be in accordance with last night's title match, but the Dungeon is back in the lead with 62 points. The Quirky Mercs follow right behind with 56. The Usual Suspects.
How's the Dungeon in the lead?
Yeah, I was also confused by that.
I guess Robert Parker won 2 matches, so
yeah, that's true. The Quirky Mercs in 56, second place. The Usual Suspects 51 points in third place. The Finstock Exchange in fourth place with 49. Corruption tied also with 49 points. The Den 35. Swag at 21, and the Stars at 16. So, yeah, this is shaping up interestingly. You know, these two cats right here, you know, they were kind of getting counted out at the beginning of the season, but now we got 2 belts here, a belt here, and a belt here. And I'm very curious to see how all of them move around, if at all. Before we close out with the new teams bracket, any further thoughts on the Star Wars match?
We've gotten like the 4 best title Star Wars besides the Iron Man, right? Like these are the best Star Wars title matches we've ever had. So we get another one in December. Can't complain.
There's no guarantee that he does. You know, we've seen this season that Alex Damon can bleed. That said,
my money's still on him to go to Spectacular.
My money is also on him to go to Spectacular. Hopefully we can have him on the show to talk to him soon about it. The redemption arc for him. Like, these are one of those instances where you don't have to try to pro wrestling this shit to write a plot line. Alex Damon's his true trivia rival, pre-Schmodown, Thomas Harper, has kicked his dick in multiple times at Dragon Con. Now took the belt from the guy who beat him, sitting pretty with Alex's belt. And now Alex has to blast through the tournament. He has to, just to throw the Star Wars bracket back up there again real quick. Alex has to beat his wife. Oh, fuck.
I was hoping you'd phrase it like that. Go on.
Alex has to defeat his wife in a trivia contest. Then play New Hotness with Ross, coming up from the FCL, and or the wife of the guy who beat him, to then throw down with another rival, another New Hotness, another old rival, or another New Hotness to prove that he's still king shit. You know, and then if/when he wins the tournament, faces off against Thomas Harper to get his belt back. That is such a great plot line. Like, this is like truly, like, Alex Damon is the main character of the Star Wars division sometimes, and you can't get around it. And right now is his like this is his arc to get it all back. It like the plot line writes itself, and it's phenomenal. And I was gonna clip this segment, and I said Alex has to beat his wife, and now I can't.
On the contrary,
he follows us now. I can't do it. probably still will because it's funny. Just me stepping on rakes every 3 feet. So yeah, man, it's such a good time for Star Wars. For somebody, if you're somebody whose favorite division is Star Wars, like mine, and like, but like pre number one contender being a show that we do, every time there was a Star Wars match, it was an event in our friend group. Like there was we're going to go to somebody's house and we're like, all of us are going to, it's me, Spencer, Travis, Joel. And like, you know, and anybody who wanted to be there for it, we're all invited. It's a Star Wars Schmodown. Oh my God. It only happens like 3 to 4 times a year. And, you know, it normally luckily would happen. And like, there'd be one in summer and one in Christmas when everyone's home. And now it's like a weekly thing, and I'm happy about it. And there's going to be a Star Wars tournament again. We got 2. I got 2 Star Wars tournaments. Holy shit! Oh my God, it's such a good time to be a fan. Real quick before we close out, we got a new teams bracket. I'm going to shut our logo off so I can read properly. This is the new danger zone. This is the new teams bracket. I can't see Travis because we're being covered up by the bracket. But we got Danger Zone v Untouchables, Press Room v The Old Guard, Deception v Chaos Theory, and the Final Exam v King Arthur. Corruption has stepped away from the team's tournament, and they swapped them out. Corruption, the team, not the faction, obviously, and swapped them out with Deception. I'm excited for that. Hopefully, we will maybe be seeing a belted Marisol McKee making her way through teams. You know, I don't know. There's a good chance for Corruption to end this season with 3 out of 4 belts, and that excites me. You know, like I like seeing them on the warpath to try to collect them. Whether or not they pull it off, you know, we'll see what happens. But this is exciting shit. You know, like there's a good chance. I'm on the edge of my seat. Like it's anybody's race right now. You know, like we're not in the situation. I don't think we'll be in the situation we were in last season, where the first match of Spectacular dictated the point deficit that would allow a faction to win. Like, like Ace had to beat Damon
for anyone to be able to beat Corruption.
Yeah. They couldn't. And Corruption won once because Ace lost. I'm not blaming it on Ace. I'm saying mathematically, like by that point, it was game over. There weren't enough available points otherwise. And then Corruption topped itself off with beating Dan Merle. You know, like here, I really do think that like maybe we'll get to a situation during Spectacular where it's one of those situations where here are the factions who are playing. Here's what's I mean, obviously it's going to be all belts all night. But the layout there is going to allow, I think, for there to be a little bit more on the line than just like one match will determine the faction race. So yeah, very exciting stuff. In terms of what we're looking at next week, Adam Collins versus Peggy Gubbins in the singles tournament. Who you got?
Is that a question?
Yeah, okay. We do the thing every week, Travis.
I know, but like Peggy Gubbins is like the 8-time reigning champion. I mean no disrespect, but like in the same way, you know, Dan Merle, Jessica Sloth, right? Like there's a way this match is probably gonna go.
Yeah, if you're a betting man, one of these
Collins made his name in last year's tournament where he won an undefeated belt. You know, he just did that against Dan Merle.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It still says TBD for the Star Wars tournament. I don't know who would be playing.
My guess would be Nikki Dimalanta and Ross something.
Arsenal.
Thank you. Only because the other 3 matches are all ones that would be getting hyped up, right? Like,
yeah,
Laura Kelly, Eric Whiteley. It's Laura Kelly. They're gonna hype that shit up. Scrimshaw, Gold Leader. They're gonna hype up because it's Scrimshaw getting his first match of the season and Gold Leader. And I wouldn't be surprised if they put Alex and Molly on a pay-per-view.
Oh, absolutely. Brendan Meyer versus Jacoby Bancroft.
My bet goes to Brendan. It's closer than I'd like it to be, but I think Brendan's got this.
I think you're right. However, I am going to be pulling for Mr. Bancroft.
You caring about things like faction points.
Of course. You expect nothing less from me.
I still have to buy my 5150 shirt. I keep forgetting to do that. And now I have no money because of going to Disney. Next paycheck. Next Thursday.
Part of me was like, I wonder if Travis is going to forget about the 5150 shirt. I wonder if his birthday present's going to be that easy this year.
We'll see.
That's okay. I have birthday present contingency plans for all of you. God forbid one of you end up with something too similar to what I have in mind for somebody that year. Mike Kalinowski versus Paul Walter Hauser.
I actually don't know about this one. This isn't a slam dunk for me. I know who you've got, but like only because Mike's been slaughtering people in IG that like I don't know.
Singles is going to be lacking.
I think this might be an Ethan Irwin situation where like they put him in mostly because Chance has his number 1 contender shot. They needed another player who could win points, and Mike can win points. So maybe if he's in there, he's not taking it like he's going to take it seriously, but like he's in there like, if I win, that's great. If I don't win, I still have a belt, and Chance is probably going to win a belt in a week or 2. Like, we're okay. Plus, Adam is still in the tournament. So, like,
Adam is still in the tournament, yeah. And then, big match next week. Big match next week. Ethan Big Time Irwin versus Marisol McKee. Who we got? Travis left.
Sorry, my nose is running.
No, you're good.
It ran away. I had to go catch it.
I'm not even playing the Cody Johnston clip. I'm not giving you a chance to respond. Did you have to go catch it? Okay, cool. People who only listen to the audio version miss the gag where like you say something and I like shut you out of the stream for a second. So watch the video.
I'm gonna get shut out again because my money's on. This is meme aside. It's on Ethan Irwin. I think in this case the proven commodity. Not that Marisol McKee isn't proven, but she's never played a 5-round match to my knowledge.
Nope.
There's just something about her play that still feels shaky to me. And it's not her. I think it's because she wants to play live and not digitally. There's just something about it that like when I watch her, she sometimes feels like she's not comfortable. If that makes sense.
I think I know what you mean. I'm slightly less concerned about it. I think she's going to show her ass. I think she is. Obviously, I think it's impossible to like curb stomp, cave his face in, KO
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible.
I think when you're in her situation, you just have to make sure, and she's training with Adam Collins. Yeah, Shannon as a manager, like she's gonna be fine. There is like in the match, if you miss first, you're playing one of the greats, and you have to make sure to not get in your own head of like I've missed and now the game's over.
Yeah,
right. Because you never know when they're gonna drop a 2-point steal. Yeah. You never know when Ethan Irwin's gonna drop a 2-point question in round 2, and you're going to pick that up. And now, mathematically, if you both are perfect the rest of the game, he has to hit his 5, right? Like it's so close that way that as long as she doesn't get in her own head, if she misses first, we'll be good.
I agree with you on all of that. I do think she's no, you're on it. Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be a great match. God, these are one of those weeks that I get so nervous about going in because it's like, wow, corruption is all over the schedule this week. Guys, don't let me down. Like next week is a show where I'm going to be wearing my season 7 champions shirt.
Unless they lose all their matches.
What. Huh?
So unless they lose all their matches.
That is not true.
I mean, they won't. There's no way
that all happens. 3 of them shit the bed.
That would be hilarious. If Adam Collins loses his round 1 tournament match, I'll do something weird. I don't know. I'm willing to stake like a minor inconvenience on myself on that one. Like he's almost definitely gonna win. Unless, of course, you go the ultimate win condition of any game, your opponent gets diarrhea. Something I bank on quite often in games. Yeah.
That's everybody's strategy when they play against me in a game because they know what I eat.
Well, before the game, they get you sheets, and then
and everyone's down and they're like, okay, there's a 99% chance he gets like a burrito with all the sauces. There's a 1% chance he gets a chicken Caesar wrap, in which case we're all fucked. That's it. Travis, where can the lovely people find you?
On Twitter and Instagram at Travis Political.
With a very nice, cool sword.
Yes. Good.
Yes.
Where?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552, and you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Feige's Broomer Burner, The Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, Zach Canals, Michael Armburst, and... So the shows got recorded out of order this week. I recorded Knights of the Nerd Republic with Emrys from Girls with Sabers yesterday. So technically, that is the first time I finally read your full name, you heathen. But I'm feeling generous and I have time. 536-D4677-96223251676 447-686-C4945552 6863 D7 367 536D 566 B6 151 3D 3D. Be sure to consider the $5 tier where you get access to Heroic History 101, the Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series, and the TNAT Movie Club audio commentaries. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, rate, review, do all the things. Thank you all so very much for watching and listening, and smash cancer.